So, you got detention.
You wanna know who's in my top 10? Yeah. Me, and me again. Run and tell them that it ain't pretend. No fake news, CNN.
Hey there everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood nerd here. My name is Tyra and welcome back to my internet home. Today we're going to be talking about the 9th episode of Harley Quinn today, titled A Seat at the Table. I don't have a reaction for you guys, unfortunately. However, I have another breakdown, and before we get started, I just want to give a huge thank you to every single neighborhood nerd who has subscribed over the past weekend. If you're new here, I upload new videos weekly. If you're returning, go check out some of my other videos. I have What We Can Learn from Brie Larson. I have a video called What We Can Learn from People of Color Representation and Remakes. So go check those out. Now, back into this episode. The storylines, the plot lines, the humor. It was good. It was great, and I enjoyed it. So this episode starts off with Harley Quinn and her crew in the Legion of Doom's headquarters with some bootlegged Chris Evans. So, you're a member of the Legion of Doom now.
So, you got detention.
VHS type of video, and they're introducing the crew to the headquarters since they're officially members of the Legion of Doom. Notice I'm actually saying Legion of Doom right instead of Legend. And Harley and her squad are just loving it. They're loving it. However, that is very short-lived because Harley's crew, King Shark, Dr. Cycle, and Clayface, they are put in the section with the goons and the henchmen, so that really offends them. Meanwhile, Harley is off here. She's running around with the Joker. First, he congratulates her in the break room. Then they have this meeting with all the members of the Legion of Doom. Joker, he pitches this stupid plan to make a tower with his face on it or something like that, and then like have his like mouth open up with a TV and he appear on it, and he was like, oh, I'll do 800 million. I'll need 800 million for this, but I'll settle for 600 million. And Harley Quinn calls him out on that shit. He does not like it, so he just sits there all salty. Meanwhile, the crew is congratulating Harley Quinn. Lex Luthor ends up telling Joker, yo, go fix your plan because we are not spending 800 million for that. So next scene, we see Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn finally meeting up after their argument takes place last week. And of course, Harley Quinn is apologizing. I'm sorry, Poison Ivy, that I said you were jealous of me and that you don't have any friends. And Poison Ivy's just playing hard to get on her phone or whatever, acting like she wasn't running to it when Harley texted her ASAP. But that's another story. Finally, Poison Ivy, she kind of gives in and she's like, well, I'm doing this plan because I want to save the plants from this corporation that is tearing down these forests and killing these forest animals. So if you want, you could join me on that mission. I don't care. So Harley Quinn ends up agreeing to save her or to come with her on the mission, and that's when we go into our next scene where the rest of Harley Quinn's squad is placed into the lower level of the Legion of Doom headquarters with the henchmen and stuff, like I said earlier. I mean, it's pretty fucked up, I mean, if you think about it, because when we see Joker, it's kind of like Scarecrow and Bane are his henchmen, but I don't see them down there. But that's another story or concept, I guess. However, However, Harley Quinn's crew ends up having to work for Bane, actually, because the smoothie guy keeps messing up his name due to the Joker, but he doesn't know that. So Harley Quinn's crew and Bane, they go on a mission to blow up this smoothie place, I guess. Meanwhile, Joker and Harley end up going on a business meeting, and Harley's just trying to play hard to get. She's trying to act like, don't try anything because this is just for business and all that type of stuff, until some waiter comes around and she's like, oh my god, I ship you guys too much, you guys are relationship goals, oh my god, can I take a picture with you? No, she wasn't like all that, but she might as well have been, and she probably would have been if she wasn't on her if she wasn't at her job. But that's when Harley Quinn starts letting a little bit loose, because the Joker is like, oh, I missed us and stuff like that. And meanwhile, what's going on is she has Poison Ivy hitting up her line, because she's like, hey, remember our mission tonight, can't wait to see you, XOXO. And Harley Quinn is just like, ugh, I'm sorry, but I have to reschedule because I'm on the Legion of Doom business, whatever bullshit excuse that she made up. And Harley Quinn is having drinks with the Joker now, and this is where she messed up, because how are you going to put your best friend over some trifling ass dude who left you to die, who left you in jail for all don't forget about episode 1, how she was over here thinking, oh, the Joker's gonna get me, he's gonna break me out. He sure didn't in that first episode, and he didn't care about you. Yet you are standing up your best friend, you are standing up your crew for that man. Anyways, this takes us to our next scene, where it shows us Poison Ivy. She's at her is she at the lair? I think she's at the lair. She's either at the lair or her apartment with Frank, and Frank is talking shit to Ivy. He's like, first off, you need to change what you're wearing because that shit looks fugly as hell, is basically what he said. And Poison Ivy, she's all concerned about her appearance and stuff like that. She's just like, oh, well, I'm just going on a mission with Harley, so maybe I do need to put on a little hat or something like that, mix it up. And she ends up doing that, only to get that text message from Harley Quinn. And Frank is like, oh my god, she's standing you up. And Poison Ivy, she's trying to rationalize it, like, okay, maybe she's just busy and stuff like that, and maybe we could do it like another time, go on a mission another time. I completely understand, like, she's new to Legion of Doom, so obviously they need her. And Frank is just like, nope, cut that bullshit out. She is changing, just like my friend did. But of course, Poison Ivy, she does not want to listen. And at the same time, she doesn't want to call her man, Kite Man, who could probably help her. And if you already watched the episode, you would think that he would have been a little bit more beneficial to help with the mission that she ended up going on. And she doesn't end up calling Kite Man. However, she does. Where'd she go? But anyways, Poison Ivy, she ends up just going off, and later on in the episode, we see Harley Quinn's crew and Bane going out to do that mission that they said that they were gonna do earlier, and they were pretty pissed off because Harley Quinn was like, don't worry guys, I'll take care of it, I'll make sure that you guys are brought to the higher levels of the Legion of Doom's headquarters and you won't stay with the henchmen. Clearly she forgot about it because she was off running around with the Joker. And during that mission, King Shark ends up having his fin blown off because Bane couldn't wait a few more seconds. So while she's on this date with the Joker, they somehow moved to a yacht. They tied up this couple and threw them to the side of the yacht and was eating their food and stuff like that. And this is when Harley Quinn's crew starts calling her, and she, instead of replying like she did Poison Ivy, she just hits decline on them. She declines their voice calls, so they end up calling Poison Ivy. And Poison Ivy, she rushes down. I think she was at a restaurant or something because she was with Frank and whatnot, and I think they were at a restaurant. I can't remember. But Poison Ivy, she ends up rushing down because she's a real one and she's not even a part of the team. And this is where Harley Quinn gets caught up in her lies, because leave it to Tawny to show a video or a picture of the Joker and her making out, and her crew is just like, what the fuck, this lying ass bitch. And that's when the drama bomb starts happening, because Harley Quinn, she finally decides to take the leap with Joker, because Batman shows up at their yacht dinner, and Joker, he ends up pulling down the helicopter rope, and he's like, oh, gotta go, you better come on with me. And Harley Quinn, she starts getting these flashbacks of the first episode where he left her, but instead she feels very proud because instead of leaving her, he's bringing her with him. And they get up into their helicopter and escape Batman temporarily, because Batman ends up catching up. And while they're making out again, Batman pulls up beside him and Joker stabs the knife in her back by pushing her out of the helicopter, which is even worse, might I add, than leaving her off of the helicopter in general. He pushes her off, and she's falling, thinking about all the times that Joker did her dirty, which is what she should have done. And if she would have followed Dolipa's rules, she wouldn't have been in that situation the first place. But that's another topic. Batman ends up being pretty generous, and he catches Harley Quinn with this plane. And while she's laying there, she decides to just jump off the airplane or the bat plane, and she falls into the ocean, rushes over to the hospital, because I guess that's when she decided that she wasn't too good for everybody. And while Harley Quinn rushes down to the hospital, Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn's crew is there, and she walks in trying to come on some bullshit like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I've been held up with Legion of Doom. But Tawny already outed her, so they weren't having any of her lies, which I wouldn't either. And she thinks everything is gonna be okay, but they are not okay. In fact, they are very pissed off with Harley Quinn, because I mean, how are you gonna leave us, your crew, your day ones, for a man who left you to die more than 100 times? And that's just being generous. So Harley Quinn is like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, Ivy, I can still help you with that mission and stuff like that. And you know what, like in Poison Ivy's case, it's like, how are you gonna hide your relationship from Harley Quinn, but you get mad when Harley Quinn hides her little flirtationship with the Joker from you? That kind of makes no sense. And the rest of the crew is like, we're done because you didn't stick up for us. You like left us to be henchmen, but we're supposed to be a crew that only works together. So Harley Quinn showed no loyalty, so her team is bouncing. Poison Ivy decides to go on the mission by herself, which I think she shouldn't have, because when we get to her mission, we end up seeing that it was a trap. They tried to trap my homegirl, and I was very devastated because you should have, Poison Ivy, you should have just got your trees and leaves and broken from the outside. If you're gonna destroy the place anyways, why wait till you're in the inside? But you know what? We couldn't have predicted that. And what happened. And Poison Ivy, she got poisoned by, I guess, herbicide or something like that, because she was out. She was out and there was no one there to save her. She should have, if she didn't want to go with Harley Quinn, that's cool, like that's understandable. She just did some unspeakable things to you, but at least call like Kite Man, or well, maybe it's a good thing she didn't take Frank, because he would have for sure been dead. But that is where we leave off, that cliffhanger. And this episode, it was very entertaining. The drama was good. The humor was decent. I think the funniest episode was episode 4. That's my favorite. But this one is a close one. I do think it's a overall better episode because everything was pretty much spot on. There are like a few things that I didn't really care about, particularly the Legion of Dooms scenes with the crew, but I mean, that's just a personal thing for me. I don't really care for the crew like that. Well, yes, I do. I love King Shark. But yeah, that's where that episode ends. And I watched the preview as well, and the preview, they did not follow up with Poison Ivy. However, Harley Quinn's crew, they are not with her in this episode. She is, trying to play it all cool, like, it's okay, you know what, let me do some soul searching, let me go meet with my mom and my stepdad, I'm assuming, or her boyfriend or whatnot. And we see they shot her grandma. Oh, spoiler. But yes, someone is trying to kill Harley Quinn with a sniper. Is a dead shot. But that is what we're gonna be expecting for next episode. I hope they follow up with Poison Ivy. I hope she gets saved because she's my favorite character. But yes, that is all. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Did you enjoy this episode? What are some of your predictions for next week's episode? And with that being all, thank you guys. Remember to embrace the geek and stay thriving, my friends.